What's going on, everyone? So, we have another supposed insider to post to Reddit claiming to have seen the final cut of Scream 2022. Many of you probably remember a couple months ago, myself, other YouTubers, even some articles came out about a post to Reddit for someone that saw the rough cut of Scream 2022. Now, this post and that post are nearly mirror and identical, although they are supposed to be two separate people to post at separate times, one claiming to see the rough cut, one claiming to see the final cut. Now, there's no real groundbreaking information here. It's just kind of an overall opinion on how they felt about the film, how much they liked it, and just sort of generic stuff. There's not really much out that we don't already know in this supposed spoiler. So, again, take it with a grain of salt. This is some anonymous person posting to Reddit claiming to have seen the actual film. The only reason I'm even talking about it is because by now there probably are people that have seen it. They have to do test screenings. The cast and crew and filmmakers and all that stuff have already seen the film. And even companies allow you to sign up to where you can watch like commercials or movies, and then you rate them and give your overall opinion, maybe write a little description on how you felt. So it is very likely that somebody has seen this film already done to completion, and it is possible that they posted to Reddit to kind of share their overall opinion. Because again, nothing is really groundbreaking. But spoilers for those that just don't want to hear anything in regards to Scream 2022, click off now. If you're still here, like this video. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And let's get into Scream 2022, the final cut. Alright, so if you're still here, I assume that you have no problems listening to the final cut of Scream 2022, so let's jump directly into it. And the post to Reddit goes as followed. Hey everybody, I first wanted to say I'm not sure if this will be taken down or something. I'm not sure how Reddit works for spoilers, as I've only joined just to write this post, so apologies if this breaks the rules. I was there to watch the final cut of Scream 2022 when it was screened yesterday for a small number of people. I didn't exactly do a head count, but if I had to guess, I'd say there was around 30 to 40 people there. I'm not going to go into any details regarding myself because I'm not going to risk losing my job, but I know that so many people are itching to know about the movie. Just to clarify, I'm not going to go in depth and home in on huge spoilers. Just going to give you a taster for everything, partly because it lessens the chance of me getting the sack if I'm somehow caught, but also more because I can see an amount of effort that has gone into this film by all parties, and I don't want to ruin it for them. I get to view a lot of Paramount movies before the release, but I can assure you that this was by far the most excited I'd ever been before a preview. I was like a little kid in a candy store. I grew up on these movies. I remember watching the original when I was young, then going to bed and hiding under the sheets. Ha ha. Anyways, this one is for you Scream fans. I'll just start off by saying the movie is absolutely phenomenal. All aspects of it are just brilliant. I can tell everybody involved has worked so dang hard to ensure that it won't disappoint. All of the new characters are so well built up, and the returning characters are even stronger than there were before. There are two fantastic chase sequences that literally has your heart beating 10 to the dozen. There are so many twists and turns, it truly has you on the edge of your seat the whole way through. It's really intense. The kills in this one are insane. Ghostface is an animal. And let me just say, he gets bored of his knife a few times. There are so many nice references and callbacks, some of which are visual. Some of the callbacks make you think it's the closing chapter of the franchise, but by the end, you are left thinking, nope, there's still more to come out of this. The opening scene is marvelous. There's a kind of coldness to it, similar to the originals, something which the other three entries failed at. It's similar to 1996 in many ways actually, but also switches things up to give us something different in the end. This one adopts a more emotional tone, not only with Sydney, Dewey, and Gale, but with the new characters, particularly Samantha and Tara. Speaking of which, Sydney, Dewey, and Gale have very big roles to play, and they aren't left out one bit. I didn't time anything, but it was clear that Sydney had the most screen time out of everybody. Gale, Sam, and Tara got a lot too. Let me just assure you that if you're worried about Sydney, don't be. She is still very much the main character. I'm going to say it right now, and you can feel free to disagree with me when you see the film yourself. I don't think you will. This Scream has the best finale in the entire franchise. It's simply great. Simply great. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for reading. So, we have a lot to kind of unpack there. As you can see, there wasn't really a ton given away. If you compare it to the previous Scream early cut, he basically kind of said the same thing, that there's some fantastic kills, some, two particular chase scenes that really kind of build that adrenaline in us. So obviously Sydney has a big role. That was what was said in the early cut as well, that Sydney plays a big part. Now, as far as this final cut take, specifically regarding Sydney, I'm interested to see exactly how much she is in the film and what he means by she is basically the main character, main focus, essentially, that she is in more of the film than anybody. So if that's true, I'd really be curious to see that, because Sydney, as we know, Nev, she only worked about 20 days on this film. So assuming that even if they used every bit of footage that she was in, if this is a 2-hour film, how much is she really going to be in? I mean, I could see realistically about 30 minutes or so, because that's what was Scream 3. I even did an entire video breaking those two down. I can link it down in the description if you want to check it out. But essentially, Scream 3, Sydney was in roughly about 30 to 35 minutes of that film, and she worked the same amount of days as she did in this Scream 5 adaptation. So that kind of doesn't make sense to me, because she most likely is going to be in roughly that same amount of time frame. So either they're not going to have a ton of focus on all the different characters, or they just have so many different characters that nobody really gets a ton of screen time, which to me would kind of make the movie fall flat in a lot of ways, just because, like, you need character development. And he says in this post that they do a great job in that regard, like building up the characters and having us fall in love with these characters. So if that's the case, how do you make Sydney, who only worked 20 days, Nev, how is she going to be able to be in so much of this film? It just, that the whole timelines don't really add up to me in that regards. Everything else, he kind of it was just sort of blanket statements. Again, this isn't really anything box office worthy. It's nothing that's like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Obviously, they said that the ending, if this is the case, is the best finale yet of the entire franchise, which says a lot. Scream 4 was kind of fell flat. Scream 3, a lot of people are heads or tails with that. Some people love it, some people hate it. Scream 2, same kind of thing. Scream 2 I felt was a better film than 3 and 4 in my opinion. But even the ending, like the big reveal, it wasn't anything like too major. It wasn't like, oh my god. Obviously, Scream 1 is Scream 1. It's iconic. And it says that this is very reminiscent of the 1996 Scream. So, which has sort of been what everyone has talked about. Even Nev and Courtney, when they did their interviews, they said that this is a lot like the 1996 Scream. So, it'll be interesting to see how much they mirror. But if this is true about the ending and how it's something different, I don't know how different. I mean, we've talked on this channel about a lot of different ideas, varieties, different adaptations, ending it on a cliffhanger, or, having multiple killers revealed, or all kinds of different ideas and directions. So if you're interested in that stuff, I have an entire Scream playlist. Go check it out. But that's a big task. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm not saying that this finale can't be great. But realistically, that's a big task. Now, I mean, obviously, we'll have to wait to see, one, if this is even accurate, two, how the Scream film actually is. Again, take this all with a grain of salt, although they don't really say anything. You know, like, there isn't really any... There's nothing that matters. Obviously, how they talked about that the Ghostface will move off the knife a few times. Well, that's already been said. I mean, even the producers said that Ghostface will be more stealthy, more dark. You know, the kills will be more elaborate and won't just be the knife. So everything that this insider is saying is sort of mirror to the previous insider, even though supposedly they're two different people. In a lot of ways, it just kind of sounds like a copy and paste. But again, everything that's in here was pretty much said by the producers. And I don't see any like major information in regards to it. The Sydney thing doesn't really add up or make sense to me. I think it's kind of the timelines just don't add up. The finale, we'll see how that goes. If this is true, it sounds like Sydney, Dewey, and Gale will be in it for the long haul. You know, the rumors are that Dewey's will meet his end, and all the way from the beginning to somewhere in the movie. So according to this, I mean, it doesn't say whether Dewey or any of them live or die. It just says that they have an emotional tone, and that, you know, that Sydney, Dewey, and Gale have a big part to play. That doesn't mean that none of them die, but yeah, so I mean, we'll see. But as always, it is a discussion, and I want to hear from you. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think it makes sense? You know, again, it's not anything groundbreaking, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, everything in this could be true, and it's somebody that didn't see the final cut, if that makes sense, because there's nothing that is really said here that has any meaning. I could essentially just make this up and people could believe it. But, you know, again, some people do see the film and early, so it is possible that it is the actual view. We should be getting, we're in August now, we should be getting some sort of teaser or trailer or something approaching rather quickly. So hopefully by the end of the month, maybe the beginning of September, we'll actually start having some real promotion in regards to Scream. So maybe if we get a trailer or a teaser or something, maybe we can actually compare these insiders to what we see in the trailer and see if there's any, you know, correlation. But if you haven't yet, be sure to like this video. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know that you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, followed by the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.